Have you ever wondered how to build your characters in Genshin Impact? If you do, this video is for you. I'm going to show you how to build your characters or leveling up the talents, all the things you need to make your characters stronger. If you open the character menu, you will see this menu called attributes. Yes, it shows overall stats of your characters like max HP, overall attack, overall defense, and elemental mastery. And for those who don't know, attack, defense, and HP is kind of similar for other games. Like HP is how much damage your characters can take, and attack is how much damage they can do. Except for some characters that will attack and damage based on their HP. And about defense, it will just reduce the damage your characters take. About elemental mastery, it will just affect your reaction damage. And if you don't know what's the reactions, I have to tell you, like using two elements at the same time. When you have an enemy with hydro on him, you use pyro and you just trigger the reaction called vaporize. And I will just tell you all the reactions next time as well. But for now, just get the point for building. Yes, elemental mastery affect that damage and it makes it stronger. The more you give elemental mastery, you get more reaction damage. And this is not all the stats you need to know. And if you click on details, it will show all the stats now. And now you can just easily fully review your character. After elemental mastery, we have max stamina, which is not that important. It don't have anything to do with damage. It's just leveling up based on the statues you level up in the game. And I'm sorry about my voice. I got cold and yes, I'm kinda giga chat. Yes, after the max stamina, we have something called elemental damage bonuses, and I will explain it when we reach there. For now, we have crit rate and crit damage. That means the rate and chance of hitting critical damage and the amount of damage bonuses you will get if you hit a critical hit. Like if you're doing 8 damage in known crit hit, it will be just a normal damage. But if you get a crit hit, it will be higher. And the higher the crit damage goes, the damage will goes higher as well. And basically the best place to stop them is above 70%, above 70% crit rate and above 160 crit damage. And yes, please don't use low crit rate characters because you just wasting your crit damage because you have lower chance to just hit a crit hit. And about the source of getting crit rate and crit damage, you have weapons, artifacts, and sometimes constellations menu. I will explain them all. Now let's go to the weapon. We have 3 stats in normal weapons, like not 1 star and 2 stars. The 3 star, 4 star, and 5 star weapons have 3 stats. One main stat that anytime is base attack, and the second stat can be a little bit different, like attack percentage, defense percentage, elemental mastery, energy recharge, or physical damage bonus, crit rate, crit damage. And the third is, yes, it just gives another buff called the passive to your characters. They are different to each other, so all weapons have different passive talents. And yes, you can just easily read them and find your matching character. But for the 5 stars, most of the time the 5-star weapon you are looking at just made for a character. Like Diluc have a weapon and Furina have one, and all the passive made for them. But sometimes it can be helpful for other characters as well. And 2-star and 1-star weapons doesn't have a second stat and passive. They are just have a base attack. The maximum level of weapons and characters are 90. And for the weapon and character, we have something called getting copy. for characters called constellations. So you just have to activate the copies you get from a character in the constellation menu that gives you a buff. And normally constellations 2 and 6 are the best one in characters. For some characters are not. For character you can get a maximum of 6 copies, and after that you will get more rewards that can gives you some free wishes. And for the weapon you can get 4 copies and call it refinement. That just buff that passive talent. And yes, if you get full copy of a character or a weapon, you have that character as maximum power. And for the weapon, we can only refine the 3-star, 4-star, and 5-star weapons. The 1-star and 2-star weapons cannot be refined since they don't have that passive. And yes, I just set the constellation menu, so we have to go for artifacts menu. The hardest part of building a character. We have 5 empty slots here where you can just put a piece of artifacts on them, and there is a flower, a feather, a sand, a goblet, and a circle. Each one of these can hold some stats. They are different to each other. Flower and feather can only hold HP and attack, not percentage, okay? Flat. And if you get one stat like flat attack on feather, you cannot get flat attack on this substat. Now substat is this small stats written below the main stat. They called substat and cannot be as main stat, okay? So we can have percentage attack on the feather, but we cannot get flat attack. And it's same for other artifacts as well. Like if you get an HP flower, you cannot get flat HP on it. You can get percentage HP, but you cannot get flat, as for other artifacts as well. And yes, flower can be HP, and substat can be everything. Like you can get crit rate, crit damage, attack percentage, and everything but flat HP. Now we know feather and flower. Let's go to the sand. Sand only can get attack percentage, HP percentage, def percentage, elemental mastery, energy recharge. Yes, that's all. And this is random, so you have to just farm until you get one. And now for the goblet. A goblet can get attack percentage, HP percentage, def percentage, elemental mastery, and it cannot get energy recharge, but instead of that can get all elemental damage bonuses like physical, pyro, hydro, cryo, electro, dendro, and geo. And I hope you know about the element, but if you don't know, pyro is fire, hydro is water, electro is electro, geo rocks, dendro is like grass and nature, and cryo is ice, anemo is wind. Yes, I guess I said all. And yes, you can get bonus damage for them. And when you get a goblet, it can just gives you 46.6 elemental damage bonus. So if you are building a pyro DPS like Arlecchino, you have to give her a pyro damage bonus goblet, same as the damage they are doing. For support characters, you don't need to give them elemental damage bonus. For some of them, some other need that elemental damage bonuses. And for circlet, it have attack percentage, HP percentage, and def percentage like sand and goblet, but this one have one healing bonus and crit rate, crit damage, so you can just easily get 62.2 crit damage and 31.2 crit rate, I guess, or 0.1, I don't know. Artifacts are the easiest way to get crit damage. Like some of the weapons doesn't have crit rate or crit damage, so you can easily get crit rate and crit damage on artifacts if you get lucky. And now we know all things about the piece of artifacts. So there is something else. You can use 4-piece or 2-piece artifacts and get a buff, but you have to use 2 or 4 artifacts from one set. All artifacts have a set, and They are 5 pieces of artifacts that make a set of artifacts, and if you use 4 of them in total, you can get their buff. But you can get a little bit of buff with 2-piece artifacts. Like here we have 2-piece attack and 2-piece damage bonus. So we got 2-piece for 2 sets of artifacts. They are similar to each other. Sometimes 4-piece buff can be so much better than a 2-piece. So I recommend you to use 4-piece. When you just farming a domain, you will get any piece of 2 sets. 2 sets are in the domain, and when you're farming and collecting the rewards, you might get a random piece from that 2 sets. And the set bonuses are too good in 4-piece. So when you are using 4-piece, it's better. Okay, and now we know everything about artifact pieces and artifact sets. How should we build? Characters have rules in this game, like DPS, sub DPS, off-field DPS, or like support EM DPS. They are some rules and different to each other, but it's not the same way to build every character. As I said before, we have some characters working based on their HP, so they are different in building, and you have to build them different. Like when you are building a character deal damage or work based on their HP, you have to give a sand with percentage HP. But when you are building a character that works normally with attack, you have to just give him a attack sand. So they are different. So you have to just check them out, and you have to check the talents menu or watching their streams in Genshin Impact official Twitch channel, or you just have to search, and after that you can just easily build them. For DPS, you have to give crit rate and crit damage. For healers, you have to give HP sands, HP goblets, HP or healing bonus circlet. And yes, that's all about artifacts. After some times of releasing a new character in game, you can just easily see what artifact sets they using on your character. Some artifact sets are giving you buffs of elemental damage bonuses, some gives you other things. And for new characters that are arriving, I will make videos myself, and I will tell you what artifacts you have to use, so you can subscribe my channel and watch that videos. But for now, you can just easily see it in the game, like here in the artifacts menu, and this one. When you click on it, it will show you how much layers building them with which artifacts, and you can just easily use them. The stats are showing as well, and we are reaching out the last place called talents. By the way, there are only 3 talents you have to level up. And what does they do? Like, this one is for your normal attacks, this one is elemental skill, and last one is elemental burst. For some characters they are different, and you have to level up 3 talents, or you have to just crown 2, or you don't even have to level up them. You can easily use this button here and see, yes, like artifacts. But as I said, for new characters, they are not here. But you can just easily see it in YouTube or in my channel. And some characters don't need to be crowned. So just check before you are crowning a character, since crown are so much rare. And again, I will say it in most of my videos, if you are new and below 45, please and please don't use these fragile resins in your inventory. It can be helpful after 45, okay? Please, just save them. Save them like a gold. And after you reach AR45, you can easily use them, because you will not get good options and good items before 45. You can get the items you need by the daily resin. And that's all the things I had in mind to say and tell you was this. If you have any other questions, just ask. Don't be shy. I will read all the comments and I will answer the ones you asking something. And if you have any ideas or want anything related to Genshin Impact, just tell me. I will try to make. And I hope this one helped you. I just want to clear something before I end this video. I'm not a beta player or a pro player or expert. I'm just a normal player who wants to share his experience with other players. So don't just fight about what I'm saying here. I'm just saying my own experience, and I will see you in the next videos.